May God's love continue to fill this space and warm our hearts. Amen. Good morning. Oh, Thomas, I can so relate. I want to share with you, prior to joining Emmanuel Church, we were members of St. Thomas's in White Marsh, Pennsylvania. So every single Sunday, we were greeted by this image of St. Thomas with his T-square and his arrow and his book. And on the surface, that's the very person I do not want to be. But factually, however, it's the very person I am. Ugh. Yes, I question everything. I listen and accept, but do know there is a litmus test that's happening simultaneously in my brain. I am fact-checking, I am nodding, I am working through, and eventually I'm smiling and saying, I understand. You see, this is what makes Thomas so relatable to me. It isn't the precision of an architect. It's the doubt itself. Now, here's a little secret for you. I am a person who is plagued with anxiety, with worry, and with stress. Anxiety for me is something so pivotal in my day-to-day that I am actually medicated to help me deal with it. I do question everything. It's not doubt in what I see or hear. It's doubt in myself. The source of it is actually quite simple. Am I cut out for this? Now, that is a very rhetorical question. It is humbling. It's scary. It's both real and raw. And very factually, it holds me back. Now, I am not standing here saying Thomas was plagued with anxiety like me. What I am saying is that doubting Thomas, well, he caused me anxiety and stress. For me, the story is such a contradiction in faith. The very thing we share in abundance is the thing that Thomas questions. A public refusal of it. Not just, I will believe when I see it. I will believe it when I see it and touch it. It's a bold declaration, and one that confuses me. And yes, has caused me a lot of stress. You know, I've mentioned before, flying is something that I do not particularly look forward to. It's one vivid example of how much of a grip on my life anxiety holds. There is no logic behind the fear of flying, because in every circumstance or situation of reasoning, the safety behind sitting on a plane is factual. It just exists because I have no place while in that flight where I am in control. Nothing, from the Wi-Fi to movie choices to seatbelt signs, are in my control. Now, for some, this complete surrender is comforting. To me, it's stress. I mean, look at it this way. If I'm a passenger in a car and the music's too loud, I can simply say, "Can you turn that down?" And they're either going to turn it down or they're going to put me out on the curb and I'm going to be walking. If I'm on a plane and I'm cold, there's no guarantee that a blanket is even going to be available. I doubt and I stress by my very nature. So how do I find good news in Thomas's doubt? How do I reconcile both his doubt and somehow begin to put my own in check? I mean, yes, Jesus addresses the doubt with fact, proof. And in this, and through John's absolution in his gospel, tells us, look, y'all, this is the resurrected Christ. Here is your Messiah. To me, this is kind of like the pilot on that airplane coming over the speaker and saying, "I've turned on the fasten seatbelt sign. We expect things to get a little bumpy." Thanks. I find the good news in something that Jesus says each time he appears within that locked room. Keep in mind, it's a room filled with fear. A room of people who are afraid and fleeing. A room of people who are sitting in doubt and fear. What Jesus says to address them: peace be with you. Both times, these words lead his actions. Before anything is done or said, acknowledged or addressed, peace be with you. It's these words that provide me with the foundation for everything else. God's peace. God's love. God's understanding. When this is your base, when you push anxiety and doubt to the side and let peace guide you, even if only for a second, a seed is planted. And from that, your journey begins. For me, today's lectionary isn't so much about Thomas's doubt, rather God's peace. When that envelops you, you find faith. You find strength Suddenly you take doubt and anxiety and you find a way to cope with it. You move it from a hurdle to a building block. You take that book, you take that T-square ruler, you point that arrow, and you give yourself direction. You grow. You learn to run marathons. You learn to listen authentically. You learn to love unconditionally. And you learn the importance of peace. Amen.